Ha ha ha. I see you, Majin. Oh, you caps locked me, man. You just saw the noti? Dude, you're the fourth person in here. Are you fucking acting like you missed? That's good energy, though. That's good, though. I like that. John Jones fight. See what you mean by that. Has he booked the fight? Who is he fighting? So out of the loop. Derek Prince. Derek Prince is on YouTube? Between. Oh shit. Oops. Realms of boundless pleasure. No music. Little music. Intro. Hey. KSI documentary? No. That's the intro. Oh my god, this guy is... Oh my god, he's breaking down demons. Oh, I gotta see this. This is so my shit. Free falling, baby. Come as you are. Alright. I gotta fix this OBS. No, Aztec, I'm taking turns from the beanbag. The beanbag is like what I use for a lounge, but I've tried the floor. Because I just don't trust anyone for ordering a bed. I feel like they're giving me either too soft or too hard, and I know I'm supposed to go check out beds. Maybe that's what I'm supposed to do. But I've tried the floor, so I put like 4, 5, 6 blankets. I'm like, I'll do one day on the floor. And it's the best sleep, man. I wake up electric, like my back is straight and shit. But I know it's bad. It's like broke guy shit. Like, it feels homeless, I'm not gonna lie, because I'll be in the upstairs living room sleeping, and then I'll switch to this beanbag during the day. Yeah, and it feels like so... Feels like camping, you know? And which is kind of like... It kind of shocks people because they're like, you've been there that long and you don't have a bed? Like, do you not fuck bitches? I'm like, I don't. I told you I don't. Nobody fucking buys, unless the bitch want to sleep on the floor. And Yeah. So I wasn't embarrassed until, people are like messaging me. They're like, it's been this long without a bed. And it's not like two people can fit on that fucking beanbag. And I'm like, yeah. No, I hate air mattresses and shit like that. And because if I get a bed, it means I'm staying in Austin. And this is what always happens to me is like I'll get the bed and then someone will message me, "Hey, bro, I got a great deal for you in Miami if you come." And then I'll be like, "Ooh, fuck." Because usually I'm the guy who can commit. I'm not indecisive like my brother, but if I get a bed, it means I'm staying in Austin. But I really like it here. And it's the most I've ever worked on a project. And this project is like, I showed it to a bunch of bigger YouTubers and they're like, holy shit. You're kind of like putting all your eggs in one basket because instead of turning this into like a series, you're just doing one giant fucking hour-and-a-half video. And I'm like, yeah, because I want that to be like my individuation process needs to be fulfilled by this. Where it's like, oh, I know Zherka from that video. And it's not just based what I'm working on. It's like, I hate that word based too. Like, like we use it like, have you ever used it in person with your buddies and you realize how stupid it sounds? Like, I can't think of anyone who gets made fun of for that word more than me in person. When I meet people in person, they go, "Oh, John, are you feeling bass today?" And they like start to fucking do that to me. But when I'm here, it's like, it's the word. Yeah. So what was I saying? Like, I'm so embarrassed thinking of this one person clowning me. Do you ever get clowned on and you don't care? Like, I don't really care. And then I go home and I can't sleep. I'm like, damn, this motherfucker really got me. Yeah. It's like, there's nothing that excites me more than in-person humiliation rituals against myself. Like the ones that I don't predict. But yeah, why I'm super happy is usually when I miss out on a bunch of streaming like I did this week and now that's over, we're gonna focus again. Usually I feel guilty, but if I can just show you guys what I've done, it's like you can't be mad at me. You can't be mad at me, dude. You're gonna be like, this motherfucker is spending that time well. Like, I finished months worth of work not sleeping and I've been having a blast, dude. Like, all alone. The most alone I've ever been. But are these new teeth, bro? Jeez. I just saw oh my god. Who says money don't buy happiness, man? Wow. Anyways, wait, who saw me on Destiny's thing the other day? It was so funny. I fucking blasted that girl to fucking oblivion. I forgot what her name is, but her friend was like they're going on Fresh Fit and they stopped at Sneako's house with Steven. And then they're saying how like Sneako and Red Pill movement is bad and whatever. And then then Steven was really quiet because one of the girls said, I can't think of a real man. Like, who could you think of a real man that's actually like everything, that they live up to everything they're supposed to? Like, can you think of one person online? And then they're all quiet and stuff. And the brunette girl goes, well, I just say it's Zherka on train. And you fucking see Destiny's face like this. Like he's fucking seething. Not actually. He wasn't actually mad. But yeah, it was just, And me, I'm just watching the video because like that's my morning routine. Is like I'll put on some blue hair, and and then as I'm watching it, my dumbass is like this. Oh yeah, those guys. Wait, what? That's me. And so I go back to it. I'm like, what the fuck? And I rewatch it, and I'm like, what the fuck? This feels so weird because I've never been singled up. Usually, if the topic is liberal women talking about red pill, they'd never give it to me. Not even, especially not Train. If they're me and Train, hell no. So I was like, wow, that was fair that she gave it up. And so I was gonna clip it up and put it on Twitter, but I forgot. But I'll do that so you guys can see how funny Steven's face is there. Like I might do a little edit with that. And yeah, so what's been up, man? For me, I've done. So I was talking to Yassine yesterday, and I'm like, dude, I'm not crazy. And he's looking at me like, bro, you're just manic. You know, you're stupid. You're this. But he's not saying it, but he's feeling it. And then I show him the project. And then when I show him the project, he's shocked. He's like, whoa, dude, you've actually been busting ass. I'm like, yeah. And those teeth look ridiculous. Well, for that price, I hope so. You know what's the craziest thing? I always say this, man. And I hate to be the narcissist. But there's something weird that happens, like when you get your teeth like this, and then you like take selfies, right? You just or you catch yourself in the mirror, right? You're not taking selfies like a fucking little girl, and you start saying to yourself, "Whoa, I remember how good looking I was 21, 22, 23, but I'm better looking now." And so the teeth kind of like puts things in perspective. You know what I mean? But I always forget about them unless I go live on the phone because my OBS won't turn on. I only have studio, and kinda I don't know if I should run a quick 4-hour stream with you guys and check in the world and stuff like that, or if I should just keep this momentum up and finish this motherfucking project. But I gave this, I showed this project to his YouTube editor, and he said it's easily going to take another month for him to finish it. That's a long time. So I put a bunch of more people on the team to shorten that, and then I said I'm just going to work more hours and I'm going to work more hours and yeah, it can't be a month. I think I can finish it sooner. Because it is a lot of shit. Like alone, the project's an hour, but with the audios and the quote mining, it's probably like 3 fucking hours I have to cut down. So it's tough. I can't even show a preview because it's just scattered. It's not. I think in 2 days, if I just don't sleep, I can put it all together and then put the voiceover on it, right? So I've been doing my own scripting and stuff because since it's a one-time thing, the project should be perfect to where you can re-listen to it without it sounding like, oh, Zherka's saying this again. So I changed some of the words, made it more poetic, made it like higher replay value. And that's really the goal. It's like if I drop I will call it my fucking life resume for my grandson. My grandson will see this. And then he'll know how to navigate in the world. Although a buddy of mine that I showed this to, he said it's fucking dark. He said, dude, you're an artist. You're good at this. I'm better at this than streaming, I think. Way better than streaming. The streaming, you're only good when you're doing it a lot. When you stop doing it for every day. When you start, yeah, he said, yo, you're an artist, you're better at this than streaming, my bad. Because streaming is like you build momentum and then you get good and then you lose it and blah, blah, blah. But I'm so stoked, man. I kind of want to, I have to give you guys like a sneak peek just so you guys don't feel, because even if you don't get scammed by it, you feel scammed until it drops. You know what I mean? So I have to give a sneak peek. And here's the worst part, man. I want to actually talk about like real life right now and how life fucking sucks too, man. Because, and this is like, what I'm going to say is like, if you don't identify with this, you're a fucking weirdo. Because look at this. In life, you're going to come to this point where it's you for nothing. You know what I mean? So, and I'm at this point in my life, I'm not turning 29 without finishing this because it's been in the back of my head for so long. And I'm going to go back to my own stuff that's going to be supercharged by this. But what I mean by it's you for nothing is this project isn't going to get me paid. That's how violent it is. And that fucking hurts, man. Like all that 1 year's worth of reading books and quote mining just so the project... Why I was addicted to books and quote mining is that you seen guys upload shit that other people can just re-upload. That's fucking stupid, right? That's fucking retarded. I don't want to be that guy. Hold on. Let me get some water. So I'm at a... Man. Someone messaged Nina to see if she has a selfie stick. You gotta hold this better. It's driving me nuts. What about in the middle? Here? How's that? No bad angle, right? I'm trying to be in the middle. Dude, this angle fucking sucks. Yeah, sorry. I'm trying to do less fucking... I remember my first stream ever, like, this is all fucking... Yeah, I know, I got fucking dropped some chocolate on it, and it's not a good look. Yeah, I remember my first stream on the Rod Show where I was, like, hiding my body because I was like, I need to be heard, not seen. Remember how lame that was? And then I took it off, but that's some cocky-ass, I'm a genius, I'm not a Chad type energy. It's like, I'm a genius, Chad. But hey, check this out. Okay, here's why I feel like I'm in the weirdest part of my life that you're gonna be here too, dude. And there's so much confidence with this path you take, but it's like a gut punch, man. Because look, putting all this work in for free for a project that isn't going to pay me, it's like, and I don't think of that because I'm like, I'm not a fucking coward. But then I talk to YouTubers and stuff, and then they like keep reminding me. And then they're like, how important is it? I'm like, oh, I need it to happen. So if I die today, I've done what I need to do in life. It's kind of like nudging people awake. Be like, hey man, there's dark forces at work, and I'm gonna shake. I will shake you. It's kind of what I want to be. That's who the fuck I am. And in my head, I'm thinking, dude, I know portal's open when you work hard, but it stings, dude. It fucking stings to work for free, to pay people for free, Anyways, but that's what life is, You come to points in your life where it's like the truth is more important. And not in no like gay ass, oh, I'm a believer in truth and I'm never gonna work again. No, I'm gonna work again. But it's like there's this huge confidence you gain as a man when you work for something that's not gonna pay you just because it's you. Like it's the real you. That's unbelievable confidence. It means everything else in your life is slowing down for this project. You know what I mean by that? So I'm like, yeah, but what better time than now? It is a rare thing too, and it's something I'll talk about in podcasts forever. I'll say, yeah, I remember there's that one time where it's like, I kind of got wallet raped and then had to keep continuing that path to do what I want to do, right? And so that's where I'm at, where it's like, did that lag my phone? I put on Do Not Disturb. Is that effing? Okay, we're good. Yeah, there's gonna come a point in your life where you choose to do what you actually need, not want. It's soul nourishment. You have to do it. It rings in your head, and then nothing's worse than when the ringing turns into regret. You're like an old man filled with regret and shit. And for the last few weeks, I was like, fuck it, I'm doing it my way, but I keep getting reminded the last few days that I'm not getting paid for it. And whatever. I remember so many of these documentaries are funded by something. And then to be just all alone. Yeah. But anyways, the point is, it's good, dude. Like this project I'm working on is so... There's good content, and then there's content that... Think of it like this, dude. No Jordan Peterson, no Joe Rogan, none of them have the secrets. When someone's trying to sell you, I have nothing I'm selling you right now. When someone tries to sell you some bullshit, they always say, I have got a secret formula, a secret how to pick up women, and secret this. And I have nothing I'm selling you right now. I'm just saying I cracked secrets that Jordan Peterson, Joe Rogan, none of them touched. And it's their topics. It's not even my topic. And so those secrets I cracked will be the climax of the documentary. And I think I'm going to take my time with it even more, because why should I just do a regular scripted voiceover This is the creepiest shit that's ever happened to me. You know, I've had psychic revelations, weird crying dream, and I really like had some black magic shit happen to me making this thing. So I'm not gonna add that to the thing, but I'll talk about it behind the scenes, whatever. So I've had a lot of really fucked up shit happen to me where there's someone famous that I'm not gonna say the name. He's talked to by all these influencers mention him, and he's a black magician priest, but people don't know this, but it's like public information. And he's explaining to his his granddaughter's like reading his fucking biography when he passed away, and she's reading the black magician part, right? I'm not capping. Check this out. You think I'm capping? When you watch the project, you'll be like, oh, this is what he was talking about. And and this is not to promote the thing. Like, I don't want to promote that I'm crying. I woke up crying or any weird shit like that. That's some fucking weak shit. But yeah, I've been having the weirdest fucking dream, the most fucked up dream I ever had. It was my first ever sleep paralysis. And I always made fun of my brother for this and my friends when they talked about it. But I understand why why the scariest thing that could happen to a human is sleep paralysis. I've never in my life understood it. I was like, just move, bitch, just move. So that was my first time. Like, I'm an old man, and that's my first time having sleep paralysis. And it was getting dark and suffocating. And my dumbass, I needed to snap out of it. And usually in dreams that are going bad, I go, just wake up, and, you know, it snaps into it. But this one was sleep paralysis, so you are awake and you're stuck. So I've never had that kind of mind trapping. And I went to bed listening to that guy's black magic about the infinite ocean of subconscious and demons. And that's where they lie in your brain. And that's what makes you like an alcoholic and shit. And so he's going into it, and that's where I'm trapped. And I was like, fuck, man, why was I listening to this guy going to bed? But the way I was working so much and so fatigued that I said to myself, I need to get, because I wake up in the middle of the night and write notes down, right? I'd be like, oh, this makes sense. And then that's how I quote mine. It's like, I finish audiobooks, and then the ones that I can't do, I'll listen to them in my sleep. And then in the middle of my sleep, I wake up and I go, like, for example, last night I was sleeping and it was a Masonic audiobook. And in the book, he's talking about like helping the public and charity, the Mason, right? And they're called Messianic because they think they're messiahs and shit, right? They think they become their own gods in their head. But yeah, as he's reading the book, and I'm going to put this on there, like I added the diamond quote to it. So if it's diamond tier, I will add it to the project. If it's gold tier, maybe, and then silver, probably not. So I added the little diamond thing to my notes. And then the author in my sleep, in the audiobook, he says that a buddy of his realized what organization he was a part of and freaked out and panicked and tried to leave. And the organization said that if he leaves, they're not going to kill his ass. They're going to do all that invisible forces of nature shit that he knows and learned about in the organization. They're going to do it to him. And so I freaking wake up in the middle of the sleep the night before. I don't think it was yesterday. I wake up, I'm like, that's it. And I write down on my notes, right? That's pretty much a leak of, hey, he didn't want to say that he knows these satanic organizations because he's a good guy. This author's a good person and shit, like a philanthropist. But he leaked because it's like, oh, really? You know that story? And then he also leaked about how a lot of his buddies lost their fucking minds learning about hypnosis and stuff and how to work someone's brain through finding the chord of that plane and vibrations and resonance. And everyone who found out that they can influence others were excited to do it. But then there's always this secondary thought that, oh, once you learn about this kind of these kind of dark arts, that that means they could be influencing you. So everyone in the organization could be influencing you, and you wouldn't know. And so that's when all these guys were put into psych wards. So studying black magic, they were all put into psych wards because they were excited to get what they want, the girl, they want the money. But then they started panicking, saying, who's fucking with my mind? Even if they weren't being fucked with. And they all lost their fucking brains. And Grand Paladin, who says it's all placebo, my friend, that's exactly what they talk about. They say most black magic is placebo, but in a ritualistic way to where placebo does something. And they say that placebo is magic. So if you win a fight off placebo, you're winning off. And so basically he's saying how we view placebo as like, oh, I believed I'm healing, therefore I healed. That's wrong. That's retarded. You're an idiot. Your mom's a hoe. 100% Grand, your mom's a hoe. So this book talks about how it's not that you think you're healing that heals you. It's that you think you're healing. That belief of you healing has a psychic effect on your cells. So people would say, oh, you're just healing faster because of like some placebo. But these books are saying, no, the placebo turns into magic. Right? That it's not just like you thinking you're getting better. It's actually warping reality. Does that make sense? What I'm saying? So the way I see placebo is I think I'm going to kick the ball in the net and it goes in because I believed. But the way these guys describe magic is because you believe, you're warping reality. And that there's certain charms and rituals you can do to make yourself more of a believer. That's why a lot of these guys get into drugs and weird shit. They start to believe in anything, right? They start to believe they're talking to fucking demons and doing heroin and weird shit like that. Yeah, and also in this book, it talks about how the dumbest people on earth don't realize that believing in placebo is believing in magic. And I really thought about that. I'm like, okay, magic I can't get on board on. That's too gay. But what the fuck is a placebo? And apparently it's a electric boost in your psyche. It's actually like more electricity firing from neuron to neuron. I was like, what the fuck? And yeah, and this magic shit makes way more sense when you finish watching my project. But I'm not going to lie, I showed bits and pieces of it to a buddy, and he said, look, John, I know you're like Alex Jones, and you're going to have like one of the most unique projects out there, but this one's really dark for the internet. And I said, what you mean? And he said, you're the first person to go at the angle of magic in politics through only one ritual. Like there's no spell casting I'm putting in the project. And I'm like, okay, so what do you mean? And he said, you're the only one who's linked military, politics, Hollywood to one ritual, and it's rape. And I'm like, yeah, I know. That's why I'm going to have the #1 fucking shit. And he said, that's dark for adults, let alone everyone else in the world. And a lot of people are not going to sleep well after this one. And that's when I thought, I'm like, damn, this could be my most like black pilling project I've ever worked on, because it's not just the rape and sodomy that's the ritual that works. And I got to find a way to put this in better words in case like family members see this and stuff. But it's, you know how they talk about chakras and wheels and energy systems and the body's a machine, and Tesla said that there's different energies, right? You'll have one penile, you'll have one in your throat chakra, you'll have one in your solar plexus and your heart. And Tesla talks about the heart having this electromagnetic pulse to it, a force field around it. It's really fucking weird shit. And Tesla also talks about, it's going to be in this project, he talks about cosmic energy being free, and that you could just solar charge anything through the stars. And that's when they killed his ass. And that's why there's ley line points of, you know how the pyramids are right under Orion's belt, right under the stars? That's why they harness that resonance and vibration into the earth, and that's why they build temples on certain areas. You can't just build a church anywhere. They align it with the stars, so the belief is charged. Really fucking crazy shit. But that's not even the craziest part of the project. The craziest part of the whole project is that in your solar plexus, I figured out alone after a year straight, I figured out alone that, all right, here, one in the chat, if you believe in psychic energy being transferred when you come inside of someone, like a girl, that's why she gets emotional, that she gets like a bit of your memories and DNA, and you know how people talk about that. So that's not controversial to say at all, right? That's not magic. That's not like everyone believes in that, you know, that, oh yeah, there's a connection that happens. Yeah, apparently the alchemical connection to be made to be a man of antiquity like Leonidas, Plato, Socrates, and all these geniuses is to have that psychic connection released into your solar plexus, your sun. That's why they talk about the sun. And where is your sun? Deep right in your gut, solar plexus. And that's why they used to butt fuck each other. Dude, it took me a year of reading these books, and they're all coded. And in my head, I don't know what made me so cocky. I said, I know I can crack these Masonic codes. I know I can crack it because Jordan Peterson can't, Joe Rogan can't, and I swear I fucking cracked it. And I cracked it so hard that even if I leak it here, no one can take the idea for their YouTube because they don't have sources to cite. They don't have quote mines, they don't have videos. I have a military source for MK Ultra. I have a lot of that. I have a political source. The Hollywood one is hard. You'd think that one's easier, but that's hard. I couldn't do that as well. And I have the Masonic source. So I have like multiple sources that all say fucking a man in the ass. Basically, all right, let's say I'm banging my girl. And I gotta find better words to explain this. And this is gonna get dark, okay? But you know, truth heals us, guys. So check this out. Let's say I'm banging my girl. And that fucking guy who said Zherka is a Rosicrucian because the temple in that switched from Gastown that I work next to, and some guys have the rose tattoos like me, and the fucking all-seeing eye and shit. That guy's a fucking retard in chat because check this out. When the fuck would I have time for a club that's 4 times a week you have to go at fucking 11 when I'd be bouncing? So when the fuck would I have time to be a part of that Vancouver shit? I wouldn't. And to me, these used to be just art, but I know I'm not allowed to say that anymore because people are like, oh no, there's something else. Because we pull it from our subconscious and it's like real. It's real. It's like a real world we're pulling from. And you can't just say you did something randomly. You can't even say you jaywalked on the road randomly once you study what I'm studying. Because, you know, yeah, anyways, hold on. So now check this out. Check this out, all right? Yeah, he posted, I banned him. He posted some weird shit saying I'm a Rosicrucian and linking it to like my first week on Twitch. Weird shit. Go back to the CIA shit. That was fucking retarded. It's a different guy, but you know, same retards. And then, and you totally discredit me because then what's the point of this project if I look like I'm controlled? But now check this out. I'm the first person to crack the code, and look how fucking crazy I look. Like, you think I'm being an idiot? I think you're the idiot, chat, because look at this. In your solar plexus, when you come inside of a woman, you're hitting her solar. Under is her lunar. And she's having that psychic connection with you during the electromagnetic orgasm. Apparently, if you get it from a man, you become a genius. That's why all of them were gay. All geniuses were bisexual, but they weren't doing it with retards. They were doing it with smart men, and they were doing it since 13 years old. Leonidas, Plato, Socrates, Napoleon, Hitler, anyone who was considered like this mastermind, they were all fucking in the ass. And in your head, you're like, yo, this is so fucking ridiculous, Jon. Your project's gonna be the funniest. When you see my quote mining and sources, none of you are gonna laugh. Not one. When you see everything I have, you're gonna be like this. It's real? You're gonna be so fucking shocked. Dude, there has not been one genius that hasn't had a psychic transfer into their solar plexus by a man in their ass. And I have decoded sources. So there are coded sources where Jordan Peterson is explaining, well, this is what he meant. But when I decoded it, I watched it with my chat the other day, and everyone's like, dude, you're fucking reaching. At the end of it, everyone in chat said, yo, you nailed it. He's talking about straight on sodomy. And it was like overwhelming for the people who were in my chat. So do I feel crazy saying this? Yes. But will I feel like really cocky when I drop the project? Yeah. So you were saying you're a genius? No. I figured out what it is. Okay? When you read something, if you want to be a genius, let's say you read a book, there's two ways of reading. There's hard reading and soft reading. The best thing you can do to master a book is read it focused and then read it half sleepy, where you're always falling asleep on the book. That's the soft read. And it penetrates both sides of your mind more, the male and the female mind, the passive and the active. That's how you master a fucking book that's hard to master. Now, I'm an idiot because most people in this chat could do it in 2 lessons. It took me 10 for a lot of these books. And I wasn't embarrassed because I was super interested. But I know a smart guy, like Jordan Peterson would be like, well, what are you talking about? You're talking about butt fucking being like a psychic transfer? And then I would show him the quotes. And I'd be like, you've been quoting Carl Jung your whole life, and you haven't realized when he's talking about alchemy, mercury, and the salt, and that it's made with one hand, and that you do it with an opposing force that turns into the moon, which is a man. The man becomes a feminine when you're fucking him. When I explained that to Peterson, he would literally go through all the books of Carl Jung and say, holy fuck, I got it all wrong. And if you think I'm crazy, search up Carl Jung, The Red Book. It's the first time he sells his soul. And I'm telling you, don't listen to that at night. Weird things start happening to you when you go too deep in this stuff. Then he wrote 5 black books, and Carl Jung literally writes how he quits psychology for a priest status from this temptation. And the temptation that he's talking to, he's saying it's a dream, and his students are like, oh yeah, it's a dream. It's not a fucking dream. It's a psychic revelation, bro. He's saying the snake that brings him this magic wand. That's what he says. And this is all philosophical and symbolic. So you're supposed to interpret it how you're supposed to interpret it. But Jung gives certain ideas in your head that let you know he's talking about the Garden of Eden and the snake, because he says doctrine as he's wording it, and number 2, he says it's a moral alchemy. That the butt fucking by a man is moral alchemy, and the next quote is, nothing in nature has ever survived without doing something outside of its nature. Which, what the fuck does that mean? You understand? So he says moral, he says doctrine, he says, but it's all coded. And he's talking about the black rod, right? And it's really fucking weird. And I really didn't know. I would never believe this stuff until some dude in my chat said, hey, Zherka, you know that Carl Jung has this Selling His Soul book? And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's a psychologist. And they said, you should look into it. And so I started doing weird things. I'm like, who's my favorite poet? Let's say Edgar Allan Poe. I just Googled Edgar Allan Poe, black magic. Boom, black magic. Military guy, black magic. Boom, Ted Bundy, black magic. It's always some Satan worship and shit. And then I'm like, okay, any famous person I Google with the words black magic, something pops up, which is really fucking weird. Then I searched Carl Jung and I said, there's no way. Bro, he's the spirit, the serpent in the book says to him, all to gain this hidden knowledge, all I need is your solace. That's it. And he says at the end, I give in to you out of my curiosity. And remember, he had like no relationship with his mom growing up. He likes to hide that. But he pretty much said his biggest problem growing up was feeling. He could never feel for other people and shit. So he was like dark. And then he also, there's this book that talks about Carl Jung, how Carl Jung's talking about how tables kept snapping in half in his house. And his mom would be shook. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then he was doing seances. I'm like, what is a seance? I had to Google that. He was doing seances as a kid. And then he just full on went to mystic tribes in India and then Egypt and all throughout the East as well to learn about this temptation force, this alchemy, right? And you know what alchemy really is? Sodomy. That there's purification alchemy where you hold your seed, your sexual essence, for a month and it like regenerates blood cells and blah, blah, blah. But then there's also one where you spill your seed into another man and they have a psychic transfer. And if you do this enough, you become Plato. And they all talk about this. Every YouTube channel on the internet thinks alchemy is actually about Mercury. They don't know what they mean by Mercury. That's why every alchemy channel says, when we say Mercury, we mean philosophical. They never say literal. Why? Because Mercury is, they're saying it's that fucking god that brings the staff with the two serpents, the caduceus, you know, the god Mercury from Greco and Roman times, the Greek god, right? And he brings good and evil knowledge in that staff, right? But it's just sexual force, or sexual temptation, that essence. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm the only fucking dude in history, not even Jordan Peterson cracked the code on what the fuck alchemy is. And alchemy at the highest level is just sodomy. And there's a higher level that's called rape, and that's like Satanist stuff. But it's so hard to put this project together. You've read thousands of this Luciferian trash, but had to listen to someone read the Bible to you, learn to control your focus. Okay, that's the gayest shit ever. Go back to your Bible, little boy. Go to Bible study, little boy, okay? Imagine fucking reading the Bible your whole life and not understanding it. You just go, yeah, there's satanic forces at work, but I'm not really gonna ever research. What are you, a fucking pussy? Are you a coward? You're a fucking coward, bro. Like, one in the chat if you actually fucking guard your mind better knowing I told you about these books. Doesn't it help knowing what they're up to? Or you just want to go back to your fucking fat, ugly mother and suck her fat, ugly tit? Isn't it helping you more realizing, you know what, that magic shit isn't that stupid because, yeah, if hypnosis is real, then, you know, blah, blah, blah. Isn't that better to guard yourself with this shit? And one in the chat, if you believe that all these ancient men, like Plato and stuff, were butt-fucking each other with little boys. And they're having psychic transfers of intellect into the little boy. And the little boy is becoming a genius. He's turning into, you know, Aristotle. And you know how I uncovered this? By Jung's book, where he says, we raise the sun, then we lower the sun, and we raise the moon and lower the moon, and then it's a 3-on-1. And he's talking about a 3-on-1 rape ritual. And I had one dude say to me, John, how do you know it's rape? What if it's consensual? Because of the fucking Albert Pike's book on what Osiris actually does to the fucking two little boys in the tomb. That the surprise is the magic. That one of the boys watching the other one get raped to death, that surprise shock factor, and then they leave him in the tomb for 3 days, so his body goes into the underworld of trauma for 3 days, and then is resurrected, and he listens to the sages as he becomes the new pharaoh. Of course he's gonna listen to sages. If he watched the sages rape his fucking brother to death, he'll be fucking traumatized. So when I saw that, I'm like, I'm pretty sure they're not changing the ritual. If that's how they... No. Bro, let me tell you something. You know, you've never been taught about the Egyptians because of how demonic they were? They were ruled by Babylonian serpent worshippers. There's no real Egyptians. Yeah. Every time you see on the internet those channels that say, you know those channels that say, we don't know anything about Egyptians? You know those channels? Yeah, it's suppressed. They don't want you to know about how fucked up they were. They want you to worship them. Yeah, they want you to worship Egyptian stuff. And another thing, everything in these progressive movements are written in fucking tablets in Egypt. But the people were like against it. Throughout all of time, they were against it because it was seen as progressive politics was always seen as black magic and anti-Bible. And now it's just seen as cringe. It's not, it's black magic, dude. You know, the worship of abortion is black magic. That's why that Luciferian temple, the satanic temple, started that new abortion program where it's a ritualistic abortion now. Yeah. And you got to really ask yourself, if you don't understand what I'm saying, who is on the extreme right wing? Probably racists. Who's on the extreme atheist left? We can't be atheists because that's most of the left. Who's on the extreme? Satanists, you fucking idiot. They're fucking Satanists on the left. That's the extreme of atheism. The extreme of right wing is racism, right? Hyper-nationalistic unity, right? Ours is unity, theirs is division. You get it? That like most millions of atheists in the left, billions of atheists in the left are run by Satanists. That's what the extreme is. Do you understand what I'm saying? So yeah, these books, this project I'm dropping is the most anti-progressive shit I'll ever do in my life. Like if this is not the biggest red pill, I don't know what is. It's Fuentes on the right and Hassan on the left. You're a fucking retard. Hassan's not the extreme. Who funds Hassan? Who funds the left? Satanists like Soros, bro. The extreme, bro, you're a fucking retard if you think the extreme is Hassan. The normal is Hassan. That's why you see him in college. You see a million Hassans in college. Anyways. And I think the best part of this project is how all progressive politics are coming from the Catholic Church. Believe it or not, the Vatican is the most progressive bullshit in the world. And when I show you all of my sources, you're going to be shocked. Dude, there is some insane quotes I have from these popes. Insane. Yeah. And all this started from a weird email I got. A weird email with an encryption code. And then I started really digging into shit and reading the right shit. So yeah. So that's the update on the project. And well, I guess I should tell you what are the chapters, right? There's a chapter on, I have limbo, I have lust, I have greed, I have violence, and I have fraud and treachery. And so the way I'm doing it is, in the last 3 chapters, it'll be kind of like a timeline from 1800s to World War I and II to the Cold War, which is not real. I'm going to debunk that. And then up until this point. And the last chapter, treachery, will be about transhumanism and where we're headed. So this robotic future. Yeah. And yeah, it's a dark project. It's a dark project. Like, the one thing I'm embarrassed about is that the whole project keeps circling back to rape. That's what I'm embarrassed about, because when I looked into ancient Egyptians, and their ritualistic rape was their mind programming for the new pharaoh, and flesh eating. And then I looked into Babylonians, and it was rape and flesh eating or sacrifice. And then I looked into Canaanites, and it was rape, but mostly human sacrifice. And then I looked into Leonidas and the Spartans, and it was rape, and a lot of rape. Then I looked into the Romans, and it was rape. Then I looked into rituals of the Druids, and it was rape. I looked at the rituals of the Mayans, and it was a lot of sacrifice, then rape. I looked into rituals of the Oriental Chinese, and it was rape. And I looked into the Japanese, and it was rape. And I looked into the ancient Indians, and it was a lot of rape. And the African voodoo tribes, there's a lot of rape. And ritualistic rape, not just rape for the fuck of it. And all of this, every single ancient tribe had the same system of human sacrifice and rape, not because they're all ruled by one king, but because the devil spoke to all men from every part of the earth. So that's why they all gave in to those dark forces. And, then the Abrahamic religions really buttoned things down and stopped a lot of that, which probably is the white pilling part of the project. Man, I never thought religion's that base, but religion stopped a lot of that stuff from happening in the public. It had to go underground, right? Or at least the mono religions. Bro, half the reason why I don't stay is because you got this sub mode on. I don't care, bro. Leave, bro. Your mom's a whore. And plus, the streams go better in sub mode because, like, we stop talking about socks. We talk about the good shit. How is this tied to flat Earth? How it's tied to flat Earth is basically the stars. That Tesla talks about the cosmic, the free energy system, the cosmic energy that you can get building something underneath stars and pulling it from the ether, kind of like how those Tartarian people talk about, right? That star worship, that Moloch worship and stuff, that actually does something to the psyche and to machines that they had. Weird machines. Yeah. And then they killed his ass after that. Yeah. Just ban this Sun Diesel guy. The fuck you spamming? And ban Moto too, bro. Look, if I needed subs, I wouldn't stream this little. Chinese balloons, one of the satellites you showed on the Flat Earth video. Is it? I haven't been looking into any of that. I feel like every time there's outrage, I don't look into it because it's just such a waste of time. Like, it's always like this controlled opposition news. Oh, Chinese satellite, who gives a fuck? Or it's Chinese weather balloon. Yeah. In the OTO, sodomy is the ritual to progress to the next tier. Yeah, the ritual in Hollywood to progress is you have to be fucked in the ass. The ritual in Freemasonry is fucked in the ass. The ritual in Skull and Bones, Yale Society, fucked in the ass. Thule Society, fucked in the ass. It's always the same fucking ritual. And they don't write about it as just like a way to wipe out the ego. They actually say it's an inversion of morals. So it is a biblical thing to them. Crazy shit. This project is retarded. This documentary is probably going to be, and this is why you're going to really love me, probably like an hour and a half probably an hour and a half. I'm going to have a Patreon paywall version. That's the long version, but probably an hour and a half. Long version might even be 3 hours. There's a lot. And then I can go specific, like whichever one is like asked for the most in the comments, then I can hyper focus on that. So you're saying all well-built civilizations revolve around rape. Well, we don't know because there's never been a civilization that hasn't had rulers that are rapists, right? Like power is like sought after by these people. So they're always at the top and they're psychically transferring intellect into each other through this ritual. Really fucking crazy shit. But it also talks about how being raped in the behind is the easiest to control someone because it wipes out their ego. And so this lady talks about this NATO ritual. Yeah. You're going to see what I'm talking about. Yeah, I think a lot of people will pay for the Patreon one, and that one will have, well, that one might even be 3 hours, I think. No, I think I can finish in sooner than a month. Yeah. I'm going to need help, though. I'm going to need some people to do some of the stuff that I can't do. So I have timestamps. Like, I've done all the work. I just need people to put this shit together. But I'm so afraid to giving it to someone because I'm like, if they miss one quote, like I have 30 quotes in a row from different sources talking about how that psychic transfer of energy happens through sodomy. But if I miss one quote, I look less credible. Then people go, oh, you're reaching. But no, dude, we need the university quotes. We need the genius quotes. We need the scientist quotes. We need all of them just so the documentary doesn't look like I'm Alex Jonesing too hard and shit. Yeah, I could do a watch party, yeah. Do you believe in reptilians? No, I don't. But where that reptilians thing comes from, why it made so much money, is it's serpent, right? The serpent even pulled Lucifer out of heaven, right? So the serpent is temptation. That's all it is. It's your penis. It raises, right? Or for women, it's when the serpent opens. Xanax? What is this, a fucking retard? You do Xanax? Which is the Angelina Jolie that she's actually one I forgot to add. I know she talks something about being like manhandled and something about blood. Yeah, I got one animator, I got diminished. So when I'm doing the voiceover or quote mining, it's going to be nice visuals for you guys. And then I think I got the editor. She talks about sex magic. Yeah, send me that. I actually don't have Angelina, and she's big enough star to where, I mean, I have a lot of Hollywood already, and I cut out the Hollywood people that I barely know about. I just put the guys with the biggest clout, because like it's already long enough. But Angelina's big. I'll take that any day. Is this going to be a visual book? No, there's going to be videos. There's going to be scripting. There's going to be me. But most of it would be like book-like, yeah. Maybe like a motion comic is how I need to explain it. Without the visuals, it wouldn't hit as hard. It would be too dark, too. Like, I need some visuals to colorful it up and soften it, because it can't just be a dark story about Osiris raping a child. That's the peak. That's the ending. That's the spoilers. Yeah, their kind stick together. Yeah. What do you think about atheists that still indirectly uphold values about Jesus? I mean, what people don't understand is your whole psyche is built off the framework of the Bible. You just don't realize it, right? Like everything, even your entertainment and Star Wars and Anakin being born of a virgin, all of that is built off of you. So a lot of people don't realize that their whole way of life is a Christian life, and they cope. Yeah, math, you're not funny, bro. Like, how's that funny? Is it released in 2024? Yeah, it's going to be the next couple of weeks, actually, in 2023, you dumb bitch. Please don't do that thing where you, like, try and be funny in my chat. Like, I hate that shit. It's so weak, dude. It's like you spend all day laughing at the things I say, and then I have to read that. And, like, I can't make jokes now because it's so fucking cringe. You're like an embarrassment. No, I'm saying the climax is about that ritual, because there's no other ritual. The only other ritual I have like very little information on is that human sacrifice. So I have more than others, but very little, because obviously that one's way more underground. So yeah, I really thought reading all those books I'd uncover the sacrifice, but I uncovered something different, and it was like sodomy, rape, and pedophilia for psychic revelations. That's like biting from the apple, apparently. Wait, what beef did he get into? What are you talking about? When did you convert to Christianity? I think years ago, but I was like quiet about it because I was thinking to myself, that book is kind of fairy tales. I couldn't defend it. And now it's like I couldn't debate without it. Like I come from the opposite angle where it's like, I don't think I'd ever win a debate. Imagine if I started a debate with, you can have a civilization without the Bible. No, you can't. You actually cannot. All right, we wouldn't even call it a civilization. We'd call it savagery. So now it's the easiest thing to defend. And really, it's because I read all those Freemason books. Each book was like proving my point. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm still kind of the same guy. Like I still suffer from the same shit. You know what I mean? Like I cleaned up my act before I got into religion that much. But now religion is like everything to me because I can't stop seeing it. You know, I can't stop seeing it everywhere I go. I see that fucking serpent on the ambulance, on the dollar sign, everywhere. And I'm like, damn, nobody's noticing it. But yeah, flat earth is what got me into it first. Why Christianity? You'll burn in hell if you're not a Muslim. I couldn't defend the Quran. I could not ever defend it because those books are all those Masonic books are attacking the cross. So yeah, if those guys are like number one in control, and that's the only thing they need to invert to invert their powers, then, because remember, they can only mirror. They can't actually make their own powers. So they can only like put the cross upside down or put a dick in the ass or do something inverted. They're inverted beings. So because they invert the cross, it's kind of like pointing into the direction of, well, it's like undeniable. Yeah, I can't stop seeing symbolism everywhere. It's getting fucked up. And COVID and all the lockdowns really made me more into this stuff because I was like, yo, this is some end times energy, man. Like we're going to have a stock market crash and everything. Yeah, I want to screenshot that and keep it, actually. Crowley's the one thing that I haven't finished on. And I'm not going to spend too much time on Crowley because that guy twists my stomach for some reason. Do the Freemasons know who you are? Dude, they don't even know who the biggest internet guys are. The real dudes don't give a fuck. The real dudes just say, fuck with their harmonics. Give them negative music that makes them procreate. And then the business people go, okay, so rap music? Like, they don't actually tune into YouTube, bro. They're sages doing weird rituals, a smoking fire ritual that awakens their pituitary lunar thinking. And then, yeah, they do weird shit. That's why the Pope, they burn stuff and they do weird funeral rituals. They do that for a reason. It's not just hocus pocus. Jon Zherka, the Masonic sources you are reading are Western, so of course they attack Christianity. Drizzy, I could make you cry. I could literally make you cry in this argument. But that's not the reason, because all Masonic sources go to study Buddhism. And that Buddhism and all of that Taoism and all that is from Masonry. It's an ancient Kabbalion type practice that makes you think right and wrong is the same. So they address other religions, not just Christ. And you got to ask yourself, if they're attacking the biggest religion, you said they're attacking Christ because it's the biggest religion. Why is it the biggest? Why is your religion not the biggest? Right? Like, why are they charging up their powers with Christ and inverting Christ? It's like, you're making the argument for me, you fucking retard. What do you think about Sikhism? Look, man, they're all promoted by Masons. All religions except Christianity is promoted by Masons. So if it's teaching there is no right and wrong, there is no hot and cold, that's demonic. That's evil. When they teach you stuff like hot and cold is the same, just different degrees. It's just temperature. What they're doing is saying you can rape. That's what they're doing in your mind, that they're meshing it together. And then they use Carl Jung and all these psychologists to make it okay in your head. But no, there's a right and wrong way to do things. And morally, we know what's up. Christianity seems like the religion they want people to follow. Are you fucking retarded, bro? You just give up, man. I fucking finish 1,000 of these books to read that comment from Michael Jackson, the vampire pedo. Now, I wouldn't look, dude, Dreezy, I wouldn't be able to argue for your religion ever. I wouldn't be able to argue for any religion. Meaning I won't believe in them. Right? Even Christianity is hard to get into. Because I'm like, oh, it's fairy tales and stuff. But then you start thinking, okay, there's $1 trillion around it. Like, no, it's infinite money around the Vatican. Okay, it's not just a book, bro. No, what is the Rick Owens? I shouldn't really fix this fucking OBS, man. Should I try fixing it right now, or? It just won't. Let me try it. This fucking OBS is driving me nuts. I keep hitting it and it won't open. And this started ever since I ran out of space recording for YouTube. Your task manager, you think? Yeah, it doesn't open up on task. Should I try OBS Studio? Okay, guys, we're switching to PC right now.